This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Still Austin Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This is a new rye blend called The Musician, first in a series because music has the ability to bring us all closer together, to make us feel more free and alive, just like great whiskey. Still Austin, owned locally, distilled in Austin, 100% Texas.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Amarillo rocks. This week we've got the venerable, the infamous, the legendary Casey Goddamn Barry. How you doing, my friend?
I'm great.
It is good to see you. It is good to have you.
Not even
back.
one description was right.
Yeah. Venerable, I'd say venerable. You do a lot.
Yeah, but
You do a lot. People love you. You know what it is. What it is. Hey, guys. So we've had a lot of crazy activity. The scene's been jumping. Despite this crazy heat, we've been having a lot of great shows. You know, Leftwoods is pumping them out. Hoots is pumping a shitload of them out. We've got guys like Route 66. They have music every night. There's no reason to not get out and see some live music in Amarillo, Texas. On a side note, I want to thank everyone that came out and saw my new band Friday night, the Sweat of Gods. We had a packed house, man. We had such a good time, and everyone was just so nice. And it was really, really cool to have that moment with Cam. You know, he got to play a show with his daughter. It was like, you know, his first gig with her, man. It was really, really cool. And just a fantastic night. Anyway, thanks everyone for doing that. We've got some more calendar stuff coming up. Cam's playing at Starlight Canyon tonight, way out there.
there's like 5 Starlight venues.
I know. Well, so the one way out in Timber Creek. You know what I'm talking about? That little bed and breakfast thing. He's playing out there with some guy named Brody something.
Brody Blue.
Huh?
I know Brody Blue.
Brody Blue. Okay, yeah, that's what he said. Yeah. So anyway, having said that, let's get to the meat and potatoes, shall we? Got Casey Barry here, my friend.
Long time friend.
Welcome to the world of the living. What's been going on with you?
Man, I don't know.
You don't know. So the word around the campfire is that you got the live Texas Mosquitos fired back up again.
It looks like we're going to be playing some stuff.
Same lineup, original lineup?
You know, I don't know.
Don't even know what the original lineup was.
Yeah, I mean, the original lineup, you know, is doing other things, but a lot of guys that played with me, like, towards the end of it, they're going to jam with me.
Adam, Matello, Cody,
We're back.
Back up? Okay. Sorry about that, guys. We had a little technical difficulty beyond Remy's control. That's why you have an emo camera guy, because you can blame it on him. He'll cry, but that's kind of what he's wanting to do anyway. So, yeah. Sorry.
Funny.
Yeah, I'm funny.
He did kind of throw you under the bus.
Yeah, I did. We love Remy. Remy, this would not be doable without Remy, so don't get it twisted. Anyway, so you did the COVID show. COVID. Let's talk about that for a second, man, because you're not just a musician. I mean, you're also a business owner, a venue owner.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that shit was brutal on a lot of these guys.
It was brutal on every.
Do you have audio?
I do.
Okay.
This wasn't my fault.
That was not Remy's fault. That is
The person
situational shit. And you know what, guys? This is a gift that we give you. You get to see the live, raw experience. Like a lot of times, these shows are pre-recorded, and everything's just fluffy and smooth and edited. But this is like real behind-the-scenes type shit. Anyway, we good? Mm-hmm. All right. It's fucking hotter than balls in here too. Mm-hmm. Sorry about all that. And we'll fix all that shit in post. Having said all that, where were we? We were talking about COVID. We were talking about being a venue holder. Man, when did you get started playing?
2007, maybe.
I've known you longer than that. Are you sure?
Yeah, I don't know exactly when I started. I was here on a rodeo scholarship, and so I got hurt in the practice pen, and I ran into, I just started playing guitar again while I was recovering, and that's when Jimmy Earl and all those guys were working at Randy's Music Mart.
Oh yeah,
and so
Jimmy.
Yeah, you know, Coup de Grace came out, and here's this thing that you know I'd never seen, just local guys actually doing something.
Yeah,
and so I started writing tunes, and it just took off from there.
Maybe it was
Never looked back.
I guess it was about then, because that was right after I moved in over here, and the Skits and I started hanging out and playing.
Yeah,
and it was about that same time. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never recorded anything or even been on a stage or anything.
Ha! That's you guys like Seth. Seth was kind of the same way, you know. Like this is Seth's first band.
Well, he picked a good one. He picked mine.
Yeah, basically. yeah. That's what you get for dropping out.
No, that's all right, man.
Yeah.
Seth is doing great.
Man, he's selling that van. You know, the white and blue van.
He needs to.
I sold him that van years ago, and I wish I could get it back. I might. I don't know.
That band's probably got stories that need to go to the grave with it.
Couple. Yeah. Anyway, so you've been doing that. You guys did the Red Dirt circuit for a while.
Yeah,
I know you did some touring. I know you played some bigger venues. You played with a lot of guys.
Yeah, I mean, when I kind of backed out, I'd done Billy Bob's 2 or 3 times. We did Flores Country Store, Green Hall a couple of times, and then we played all the normal places around. So it's cool, we got to say that we played all those places.
Yeah, it was cool.
Got to make cool records, and it was fun.
Yeah. When did you get involved? Did you run Hoots for a while, or did you just buy it? How did that work?
Really, when I was waiting on my last record, I made that record with Keith Gaddis. And so I went out to Nashville, and we were going to release it right, which means that you're just going to waste a bunch of time trying to get everything together, and it's not going to do any different. But, so I was booking scooters.
That's right.
And then when I left there, Faith had just rebuilt Hoots. And so I started booking some of the bands for her. And I think we brought Mike Ryan in. And she just came to me one day and she said, the bands are a little more than I want to do, so if you'll just kind of take over, we'll move forward.
Nice.
And at the time I was 40, so I was just like, this is a way to get off the road. My daughter was, 13 or whatever, and because you knew me back then, I was gone all the time.
Yeah, you were gone all the time. Yeah.
I was practically living in Dallas, and some of that was the music, and some of that was just because I was going through a divorce and stuff like that. So.
Oh yeah, those things. So, a lot of times they're tied together. Music and divorce.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. But you've had Hoots for.
I think it's going on 7 or 8 years.
Yeah. And that thing just seems to keep getting bigger and bigger. You have some crazy big acts that come through there sometimes.
Yeah, we do, and it's strange because I've had Grammy winners and you never know in Amarillo what people are going to come out for.
Right.
So, what seems to be the kind of hot commodity right now is the new up and comers that are this 90s rock thing.
Yeah.
The Reed Southhalls and the Cole Wetzels and Giovanni and which as soon as they blow through the scene, they're just putting them on the rock charts.
Yeah.
So,
what do you think about all that? So, it seems like the whole line between rock and red dirt and country, all that shit seems to be getting kind of blurred now these days. I've seen a lot of these bands that billed as a red dirt band. It's like seeing AC/DC, man. They might have a fiddle player.
Yeah,
but that's a rock show. It's a rock show.
No, it is.
It
is, and it's okay. When Cross was coming around, they were a rock band.
Yeah.
And ZZ Top would have been the same deal.
Yeah.
So it seems like you get some of the same crowds, but the same people in town listen to KPR, they listen to Rock 108.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's just where we grew up.
It's kind of a uniquely Texan thing, though, I think.
It is. Well, I just think that the venues got built in Texas.
Yeah.
I've heard Georgia has a pretty good music scene that's kind of equivalent to Texas, but there's just no place like it in the country.
No, man. And we've got our own charts, you know, with the whole Red Dirt charts and everything.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know that the charts necessarily add up to anything, but the radio stations themselves, the fact that we've got Cumulus stations playing local guys. Yeah. I mean, that's amazing.
Shout out to Craig Vaughn, by the way.
Well, and Eric Slater. You know.
Slater. But both of those guys, man, they, you know, kind of flying the flag for, you know, like good local bands. So especially Craig. Craig does it a lot, you know.
Yeah, and especially the fact that their station is the man, you know. It's a Cumulus station.
Yeah.
And the fact that they stepped up long before, like, any of the KGNCs that are locally owned.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's funny, you know. Don't know what do you say about that? You know, I mean, you know, it's the elephant in the room. It is what it is. You know, these guys, they have friends in the scene, and it just pulls through. But it's nice, you know, being in the scene. You know, Slater's book. You know, he's put me on some of his shows, and I don't think I've done anything for Craig, but you know, it's a good feeling to know that you've got that kind of support when you're playing.
No, those two guys really love music, and they really love the local guys.
Yeah.
And so if anybody's out there trying it, you know, then they're gonna support it.
You gonna be recording anything anytime soon?
Yeah. I mean, that's the plan. I'm not gonna rush anything out, and I won't even name who it is, but you know, I've already got a distribution deal out of Memphis, and it's. I just told them, you know, when the record's ready, then the record's ready.
Nice.
But it's not going to be like anything I've done before.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
And probably our shows aren't going to be a lot like they were before. You just grow musically.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't have to play that stuff the way I used to.
Yeah. You excited about it?
I am.
Yeah.
I am. You know, I've had a lot going on, so I haven't really had a lot to think about. But this is the first time in a long time that I'm really just listening to music again. It got to the point where, you know, I wasn't even listening to it. I spent the better yard, you know, 20 years, 25 years.
Fox, hopefully we got this ironed out. I've got, we're still trying to figure this thing out. I said, hey, buddy. Anyway, we're talking to Casey Berry today. We're talking about the local music scene, the future of the Live Texas Mosquitos, and who's coming up at Hoots. Who you got up this weekend, as a matter of fact?
This weekend, well, we got Darby Sparkman tomorrow night, and then Saturday we got this new kid, this Braxton Keith kid, and he's turning some heads. And
I've heard the name.
yeah, he got signed out to Torres Music Group, and man, he's just full of talent.
He's who the hell has he played with, man? I remember that name.
He's done a bunch of shows with like Tristan Maris and stuff.
He's kind of a rock guy, though, isn't he?
No. He's young, and it's country.
Yeah. Okay.
It's that '90s country.
Yeah.
But he's young.
Oh, cool. That's what, Friday?
That's Saturday.
Saturday.
And then we got Jay Statham and the Tokies on Friday.
Jay State and the Tokies.
The Tokies.
Okay, I'll be damned. There's the opener for that is May Churchill.
Yeah, I just now figured out who they were.
Yeah. So they're opening your show, and they're hauling ass, and they're going to play at Leftwoods after that, and I'm going to open their show.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
They're doubling down. Well, they're passing through. They're trying to, get a little exposure so they can
Sure,
come back.
sure.
So I can dig it. Yeah. Where are you playing?
I don't have anything going on yet. Yeah, I don't have anything, man. It's pretty slow right now for me.
That surprises me.
Yeah, a lot of it was just like nothing really lined up this month, and then next month, DJ's out for the month, just with Tarpley, with instrument rentals.
Oh, really? Oh, for school and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and he and Travis are both doing that this year, so
yeah.
they're both on the road pretty much all of August.
Oh.
We have a show at the end of August in Lubbock with some like pop punk bands that are from like Denton and DFW.
Yeah, right on.
So that'll be cool. It's like an end of summer party. And then I'm trying to sort out that punk band On Holidays coming back through the 12th.
Yeah.
And
I talked to John the other day.
They talked to me. I'm trying to make it work, see if I can, because I opened for them solo.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get the band to see if we can make that work.
Yeah, I talked to him the other day, and I told him to get a hold of you.
Yeah, and he and I had talked about it,
Yeah.
because John works for the Blue Note in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And he does all the booking there. And he's like, we do this pop punk, or
That's
this punk
such a
festival.
cool room.
Yeah, it is.
It's a really great room. But he was like, we do this punk festival at the end of September. We want you guys to come out.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
So, yeah, it'll be fun.
I've not played there. We played there once, like that poster there with the crown on it. That was like 2017. We played there last. Yeah, it was doing really. A guy named Matt Kirk was the manager at the time, and I think I don't know what he's doing now. Anyway, sorry, that's weird sidebar, guys.
Yeah.
And so the Mosquitos. Are you doing any acoustic stuff, or are you gonna?
I'm gonna start.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just kind of getting it ready again.
Yeah.
It takes a while to get your vocals back there. At the time, I was playing, 5 nights a week.
Yeah.
And so I'm not just gonna jump out there.
The nice thing about doing what I do is my vocals always sucked, so it doesn't take much for me to get that back.
Well, and I'm not much of a vocalist either. But I really had no plans of ever doing it again.
Really?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Man, I chased that carrot. I did it all. I went to Nashville and we did it all. And I figured out I'm not gonna get the record deal, so I was cool.
Yeah. Well, and now, but I mean, you work with a lot of, like we said, big bands that come through.
Sure.
And I know how this works, man. You make connections, you network, people talk. You never know, dude.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't even know if it's about the networking, but I'm good with a lot of these people.
Yeah.
And there's a generation in there, and there's a generation where I'm known as the Hoots guy.
Yeah. I'm starting to get known as the Amarillo Rocks guy, so I feel you there. Too.
Well, it's crazy. Like, it hadn't even happened in a while, and it seems like it's all kind of happening again. I was in United the other day, and this guy was like, he was kind of following me around, and I was thinking, what the fuck's wrong with this guy, man? You know, I got something on my face. What's the deal? And he just looked at me, and finally he just walked up, and he was like, man, Gleam of Hope is one of my favorite songs.
No shit.
Yeah, and so, and I was embarrassed, man. I've never really been real big on that kind of stuff, just because it makes me nervous.
Yeah.
And so I told him thank you, and I started going about my business. But then, then I turned around and I was like, you know what? No, fuck this. And so I went and found the guy in the back of United. He was working in the meat department. And I said, hey man, come out here. And I was like, I'm sorry. And I said I appreciate you digging on my music. And I invited him. Said, man, any show you want to come to? Gave him my phone number.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Man, you never know whose life you turn around, or just making someone's day like that. When we listen to, we think about what your music heroes mean to you and what it would mean to you for them to say something like that to you.
Yeah,
that could mean the turnaround of someone's life.
The crazy thing is that most people don't understand that artists and music minds, as much as they look like they're out in the public, they're real introverts.
Yeah.
Everything from Axl Rose, he was a prick, but he was still, it made him nervous being around that many people, and Eddie, and just a bunch of the guys. And so nobody's trying to be a prick. And there are times, it's not like they think they're better than anybody or any of their fans. A lot of times you just don't understand what it is they want from you, and so it comes across that way. But I'm making a real effort to go. No, I appreciate it.
That's cool.
Which is, it's tough for me, man. I never really liked the stage.
Yeah. A lot of people just assume you're an extrovert because you do this sort of thing. They just assume.
Yeah, but when you get up on stage, you can just tune the whole thing out.
Yeah.
You got 90 minutes or like you said, 4 hours of sitting there, and then, man, you're in your own world.
Yeah.
You got that 5 minutes when some heckler tells you to play something else, and
free burger.
Yeah, or you're trying to order a drink from the bar, but you're not. People aren't as engaged.
Yeah.
As they think. It's funny. I see these videos on Facebook, and they're like, "This guy looked right at me." He was like, "No, he didn't.
I didn't.
No,
that dude looked right through you."
He was he was looking at his sound tech that's out in the audience.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that you want to, but it just starts off that way, and it's odd and it's weird when people know more about you and you don't know who they are.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
And so that's kind of when I hung it up, I was tired of it. I was tired of going through a separation and divorce in the public. I was tired of, I was tired of it all, and so I was good with just being Casey the club owner.
Yeah.
And it kept me in the business.
Pressure's off, yeah. And kind of, you scratch the itch a little bit by, doing production, booking bands, just being around it.
Yeah, I mean, you're still in the business, so you're not in unknown territory.
Yeah.
But it's, some of these guys I never even see till they hit the stage.
Yeah.
We got Tommy Vex coming.
Mm.
And
That Bad Wolves guy, right?
the Bad Wolves guy,
Yeah.
yeah. But I didn't know that. Slater just called me and he said, "Hey, you want this show?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's cool." And all these people know who he is, but I probably won't ever even see him until he hits the stage.
I didn't know who he was until I saw your flyer. So I just remember seeing that because we shared it on the page. And it's like, who the fuck is Tommy Vex? And cool name. Who's it? Oh, Bad Wolves. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. That's a cool Rock 108 show, and I think Green Gorilla is involved in that. And,
Oh, nice.
yeah. But it's not.
I think you're on a tail.
Studio cat.
I stepped on the cat.
That's hilarious.
So far, I've stepped on the cat and broke the camera.
Yeah.
I'm not getting invited back.
Change your name to Kersey Berry.
She's talking to me too now.
Come on, buddy. Give me a break. Shit. Come on, buddy. Lori Kiker Parker says, "Great job, Casey." I don't know who that is.
That is my aunt.
Oh, hey! Shout out Casey's aunt.
Yeah. So
The bands that are coming through, like the Bad Wolves guy. I was going to ask you about that. So, how does someone? How do you get your shows? Like, where do they come from? I know you get some local shows. Do they approach you? Do they approach someone at the bar?
yeah, I mean it's everything from guys dropping off press packs at the bar to I've got a bunch of agents I deal with that are more in the Americana, Texas music, the country stuff.
Yeah.
And then the rock stuff, I leave to Den Productions.
Again, you still deal with Hilda?
I deal with Lane.
Lane,
but,
okay.
but yeah, Hilda's great.
Yeah, Hilda's cool.
And so they know rock.
Yeah. Hilda's got me in front of some cool. We've done some openers for some cool bands.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a few of them. Ribbon Horn Heat or whatever that one came through me.
Yeah.
But Buck Cherry and all those are Lane shows.
Yeah. That's lame. Do you guys do any like hip hop shows or anything like that?
We have, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Nappy Roots and Sir Mix-a-Lot and
That's right. I forgot about that Mix-a-Lot show.
yeah,
That was fucking tight. I forgot about that. That was a lot of fun.
yeah.
Man, Brandon used to have some crazy hip hop shows at the Nat. I remember he had Afro Man.
See, that would have been really, really great.
Afro Man had what I'm pretty sure was a briefcase full of weed. Like stereotypical, this guy does as much weed as you think he does, or more. And Brandon had that weird little apartment upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
And they were smoking out before the show, and this guy had felonious amounts of weed.
Yeah. Did you ever see him punch the shit out of a lady on stage?
I heard about that. I didn't
Was
see it.
Incredible. She rushed the stage while he was singing, and he just pushed her off the stage and proceeded. He still had half of a show to do.
Wow.
Yeah, it was funny. I felt bad.
It's funny, but when that thing happened with Dime, it
Yeah.
got real
Oh, yeah.
serious real
Yeah.
quick.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And
Makes
so,
sense.
it's not really the same,
I was going to rush the stage, but then I got high. Yeah.
Well, that deal with Pantera, that was in a room that wasn't much bigger than Hoots.
Yeah. Like Canton, Ohio, or some
Yeah.
shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, killed a fucking guitar player. You gotta wonder what's banging around in someone's head. Well, I mean, fucking killed John Lennon. Some of these guys have been killed because they're too good at what they do. People lose their shit because they're fucking idiots. I don't know. It's weird.
That's when it's crazy, is when you have the stalkers that kill them and they love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you won't love me, nobody will. I can't. Yeah. What a time to be alive. So, what are your thoughts on the local scene?
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we got a good scene going on right now.
I think it's, for the first time in a long time, you got some bands out there doing some stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about Jasper earlier. Jasper seems like, Jasper's like right there, man. It feels like he's about to fucking break through.
Yeah, and you've got those guys like Jasper, but
you also got Travis.
And the cool thing about Travis is going to be there.
Yeah.
Travis is the real deal.
Yeah.
Rhett's doing some things.
Rhett's killing it. Yeah.
And you know, obviously Seth is doing good, and
Yeah.
you know, I don't know much about the rock guys, and but there's gonna be some things happening. You know, somebody's gonna break out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's been some in the past. I don't know, man. Amarillo has always had this. It's a pretty robust scene, and it's always felt kind of localized, but in a strange way. But in another way, I don't know, man. There's been a lot of talent from here. I mean, starting from the '60s, like Roger Miller came from Amarillo.
You got Roger Miller, you got J.D. Souther.
J.D. Souther, I forgot about him. Yeah.
You know, the Unknown Eagle. Wrote a bunch of hits for the Eagles. Joe Ely he either went to Amarillo High or Tascosa, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, and Lubbock grabs a hold of these guys because that's kind of where they cultivate it.
Yeah.
But they're from here. You've got the biggest songwriters in Nashville from the Panhandle. You know, you got Bobby Pinson, who's had like 25 #1 hits.
I didn't know
And
that.
Rodney Clawson, who wrote, you know, you can't drive down Broadway in Nashville without hearing one of his songs.
Right.
And so, Billy Dawson has done some killer stuff out of Sunray. Just this area alone, you know, not only have guys made it, they've made it big.
Yeah. What do you think it is? I mean, you think it's the water? You think it's the big open skies? You know?
I just think it's a style of music. You
Yeah.
know, it's not any different than the Bakersfield stuff of back then. Is
Yeah.
that there's a sound there, and it's a combination of Oklahoma and Texas, but we don't even sound like the Austin stuff.
Right.
It's just this little area right here, you know.
Yeah.
People are looking for like that middle America sort of homey vibe, and I
Yeah.
think that's a big part of it.
Yeah, and I mean, no matter what you do with it, it's almost a Mellencamp thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
And so it's pretty real. It's, you know, it's you can't write outside of who you are. So being from here, it's just there's a story to tell, you know.
Yeah. You know, Texas in general has been foundational to a lot of big bands like ZZ Top, like The Rev, like Pantera, you know, bands we all talk about, bands that we all listen to every day, you know. And for my part, I don't know, it's fun being a part of it. It's fun being connected to it. It's fun, you know, I mean, you know, hell, you got me in front of The Rev. I got to meet him last year. They played that.
Yeah, with him and Dale.
Hill and Dale played that
Yeah.
show, and I got to actually have a conversation. So when we played that show at Hoots, my mom, when she was alive, was so crazy proud of me. Like it was like it just blew her because I've been hammering her with the Rev stories for years, playing the music. You know, when I told her we were opening the gig, she was just like elated. You know, like such a big deal.
That's amazing.
And I finally got to tell him that story. He was sick as a dog that show that he played, and just we talk about COVID and all this other shit, and then just out of nowhere he just stops in the middle of the conversation, sticks his hand out, and goes, "Jim," and I was like, "I know who you are. Everybody on the planet knows who you are, bro." Oh my God. You know, but it was like, but it was like a real moment, you know, and you know that's one thing that from a lot of Texas acts that you see that old school thing, you know, like they
but I think
look in the eye, shake your hand, that type of stuff.
I think it boils down to what we were talking about earlier. Is that they're not trying. Man, these guys are just respected and big artists because they're respected and big artists. That doesn't. They don't get it either.
Yeah.
You know, they love that they sold some records and they love that they were put on that national scene, but they're still us. And it still makes you nervous when people know about you. It's a huge compliment that you're going, man, you're my hero, and I listen to every one of your records. But on the other side of that, you're going, man, that's kind of strange, man. This guy knows what about me.
Yeah. Think about guys like Josh Homme, the Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah.
Like his divorce and separation and all that shit was very public. We're talking about it right now, and like he was kind of during the pandemic. He was on social media a lot, and then like when the bottom fell out, man, like I can just imagine that guy. He can't go anywhere without somebody recognizing him, somebody saying something to him about. That's probably the first thing out of their mouth, some shit like that.
Sure.
And that would be a hard way to live, like Anthony Bourdain. Hell, that's Anthony Bourdain, wildly famous guy, recognized on the entire planet, and it probably quiet and reserved, like you said, and then, just all of a sudden, bam, everywhere you go, somebody's just hammering you with, they know everything about you. That would be, I don't know, stripping your privacy such to the point where it's isolating.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like Chester. I mean, it's literally been 5 years since Chester from Lincoln Park was gone. Everybody knew that guy, and when you're in the public eye and you're saying things that people relate to, they feel like they know you, and they feel like you know them when you don't.
Yeah.
So there's all that weird pressure to...
Yeah, that's what I was getting at, is they don't understand that you don't know anything about them.
But they think you do.
Yeah.
And so they're like, please, like, I need you to connect with me the way that I feel like you do by the music you're playing.
Yeah.
And that's so stressful.
Yeah, man, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That is a good point.
Because then you do feel isolated because you're like, I can't connect with all of you the same way.
And they, think about like a TV, like a big preacher or something like that. Those guys have like crazy, they get that crazy shit too, but they've got something to turn that off on. They can say, give God credit for everything they're doing. And it's not, it's not the same thing. I mean, but you still got these people clamoring to you, The rock star's nothing but a preacher, in front of a pulpit. He's talking about, there's a lot of the same nuances there. These a lot of these shows. I don't know. It's a great one. Remy's played in the church and stuff.
That's great, man. I just joined the church.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's that feel?
I love it.
Really?
I love it.
Right on. Okay.
It's an amazing, amazing thing.
Which one is it?
The summit there in Canyon.
Oh, okay. Do you live in Canyon?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
That's cool.
Yeah. No, I it's changed my life.
You're getting to hang out with your kids more too.
Yeah. No, and that's you're talking about the pandemic. Yeah, it sucked that we shut down, but man, I got a little baby girl, and I got to spend a year with her. So,
yeah, man.
And I didn't get to do much of that with my older daughter.
Yeah.
And so, it's been cool.
Yeah. How old's your older one?
She's 17.
17, and the little one is?
She's 3.
3. I bet they're a hoot together.
They're fun.
Yeah.
It's pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
It's pretty dangerous.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've got 2 grandkids now, which is a weird thing to say out loud, but, like, those guys are so much fun, My daughter got married about a month ago, and I never really enjoyed family experiences until I had that family, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And it's just completely different now, It's like, I don't know.
Well, and I didn't plan on having a young one at 43. Man.
Yeah.
I just it happens, and it's awesome. It's the best thing, and that's it all kind of ties in together. Like the music thing ending is, shoot, I thought I was getting married and going on with life,
Yeah.
Sometimes God's plan is a little bit bigger than ours.
Yeah. It's not our place to understand it, I guess. It's just our place to,
That's
work
right.
with it.
That's right.
Fair enough. So, we touched on this a little bit. Can you give me any timeline for when the Mosquitos might be playing? When is that show that benefit show you're playing?
The latest on the timeline will be it's 9/10.
Mm-hmm.
So
September 10th.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the latest we'll be ready, and hopefully we get together and do some things before then or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get involved with some songwriter stuff like with Travis and Rhett and those guys, and I'm just happy to be tagging along. I'm glad they're letting me come to their Panther party.
Nice.
So.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up for the day. I want to thank Casey Berry for coming to the show
for having me, man.
and for finally
I've done a lot of things, but the podcast was not a thing when I stepped out for my first podcast.
Man, I'm nearly 50 years old trying to figure out how podcasts work. Look at all this crap. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, I mean, it looks good in here, man. This is a cool spot.
Appreciate that, man. Thanks to Remy, Run Sound. Thanks for Ashley for emotional support. And we're going to...
That was weird noise.
We've got...
She's a new graduate of Hardin Simmons.
Yeah. All right, guys. Remember what we say, wipe front to back, clear your browser history, go see some live music. You owe it to yourself to get out of the house and catch a band and enjoy yourself and live life, because this is the only one that we're going to have as far as we know. Amarillo rocks.